where so I lived in Pennsylvania for like 4 years, and in the area of Pennsylvania where we lived at the time, there was like a group of other people that were doing the same thing with their kids. So my mom did it, and I if I don't know, man, because like if I hadn't been so hyper independent, what would I have done? I think they would just
Right, yeah, like,
get
what's
married.
gonna it's man, it's
Which I
so
did.
I admire might be the wrong word, like, I'm mystified at the courage of people who decide to homeschool their children. I mean, I understand, like, there's some legitimate reasons someone would want to. I'm not, disparaging everyone who does it, but, ah, look, how do I put this? I am I would say I'm of slightly above average intelligence. I would put it that way, and I would never trust myself to properly educate my kid in every single subject. I just couldn't imagine doing something like that. And yeah, you have curriculum, you have videos. Yeah, yeah, who cares? Like you need a teacher, and and I've seen the results of this, and it's weird because it's one way or the other. It's some of the smartest people I know were homeschooled, and then some of the absolute dumbest people. I'm way above. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate the compliment. I'll take it. I mean, you're probably correct, but I'm not going to be an asshole and
No
say
confidence to come in. That's cool.
yeah. So, yeah, so I'm always amazed by that. And you mentioned the science. I forgot what you were talking. Oh, yeah, the evolution thing. So I started doing videos last year, and it was talking about mostly history books about how homes or Christian school history books and how they teach fascist propaganda, how they glorify the Confederacy, how it's just Christian nationalism, and I plan to do it on the science books too, because the evolution thing and the creation thing. And I never got to it at all. But it's weird to say, outside of the evolution stuff and the creation stuff, the science book was remarkably solid. I was actually impressed because I mean, hey, this is gravity, and objects fall towards the earth at 9.8 meters per second squared. And he's like, all right, that's true. And they just put it in there. So it's just always like had allusions to, divine providence for all that. But if you just ignore all that,
Yeah.
the science book was surprisingly good.
That was my experience with it too. I was always the most interested in science.
Mhm.
I found that a lot of the other things, just like looking back on my education now, were very whitewashed. But in speaking with a lot of my friends who have like gone to public schools, it other than like the religious aspect of it, which I would count the not believing in evolution as part of that,
Oh,
but other than
yes.
the religious aspect of it, my education seems very similar to the standard education that y'all receive. And I will say my parents did not start the unschooling thing with me until I was maybe 10. So I had like elementary school where my mom tried. So
I'm just so weird. I've never heard of this. And it's just like it doesn't even seem to be because like other ones I can understand. Well, okay, we're gonna take our kids out of school and they'll have a Christian curriculum education, they're gonna have a classical education, whatever. But this one, I don't understand how anyone does it. Like that's what's the game plan here?
and I'm thinking about it, and I should have thought about this and like written it down because I have such a horrible memory of my childhood. But um, I think that when my mom decided, or when my parents, but it was mostly my mom, but when they decided to do it, it was going to be like a temporary thing. Because now I'm remembering them like helping me with GED prep, and I remember my mom like ordering me science like videos and stuff to help with high school. But it's funny, they would order them through this like one Christian website. Shout out to Answers in Genesis. So any of my
Oh,
fellow,
answers in Genesis. Oh my God.
yeah, yeah, you're familiar with
Oh, they're the
apologetics.
worst. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Ken Ham, right? Isn't that
yeah.
his? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Ken
Gosh,
Ham. For those of you who don't know, Ken Ham is one of the foremost creationists on the planet, and he's always talking about how he has a book and he knows the Earth is 6,000 years old. And a long time ago, he did a debate with Bill Nye that was nationally televised. And I remember when this happened, and I said, I can't believe Bill Nye is doing this because a lot of people were excited about it. I said, look, there is no universe in which Ken Ham's going to be like, oh, that's a good point. Oh my God, I hadn't thought about that. No, he's just going to, all you're doing is elevating the status of this clown. And it really disappointed me that he bothered to do it in the first place.
I think there's maybe a little bit to be said there about how debate culture has spiraled since then, and like who we give platforms to. But you say that when that debate came out, or that whatever debate, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Um, I was still learning apologetics, and I was still
Mhm.
like my evangelical Christian phase, and even I remember thinking like, Ken Ham sounds he just doesn't he didn't do well. Like he didn't
Because there's
because
no good answers. There's none. There's nothing at all. Like one person has evidence and one person has dogma. And if you're being objective, that's never going to work. I don't know. I just like with debate culture too. Debate culture is the worst. It's so bad. I don't do debates. I used to do them like on back in the Facebook days. I would like do the typing paragraphs debates with people and everything. I don't do it much anymore because I mean I knew it back then, but now it's just really set home with me that debates aren't really about learning. Debates are about entertainment. That's the primary goal of a debate is to find a way to get a zinger to and then maybe listen to find a good argument you could use quickly. But the other person's not going to change their mind, and you're probably not going to change the mind of the audience. You might, but in that case, I'm just going to talk to them. Like I'm not going to bother having someone else there to tell me that. Well, actually, the Earth is flat. No, all right, not interested. Sorry, go talk to somebody else. I hate it.